So today we're going to tackle how to craft the perfect sales presentation. Presentations that don't trigger sales resistance. We don't apply sales pressure, but we are able to get the sale. If we're getting think about it objections, if we're getting uncertainty from prospects, but also we feel very icky and salesy when we present, today we fix it. This is Chris Goodis, by the way. I've sold 8 figures in the online world, high ticket services, coaching, software. And today we're going to unpack exactly how to create irresistible presentations that speak to our prospects, that sell, and actually serve people. So let's unpack it. The perfect sales presentation is designed to be as short as possible while delivering enough info. Look, sales presentations, they're not there to educate, contrary to popular belief. They're not there to entertain either. They are there to create a fit between their problems and our solutions. That's all it is. If we cram too much info, we just confuse people. So the key is to keep the presentation no more than 10 to 15% of the amount of time it took to get to that presentation. So just to give you an example, if you have a strategy session that takes 60 minutes, you shouldn't pitch more than 6 minutes. What do you do the rest of the time? Well, you ask powerful questions to get the prospect to sell themselves. And this is a topic for a different video. But today, we're going to focus on exactly how we create that powerful, concise presentation. So, a few rules are we have to keep it short, as we discussed. Always, we start with deep problem discovery. We have to present around their problems and not their futures. A lot of people, they make a mistake of throwing all the futures, all the benefits in the kitchen sink, and then the prospect feels overwhelmed. We have to present around their problems. So directly, we present directly to their challenges discussed in the discovery during when we were uncovering our problems. Planet You, when we're talking about us and what we have to sell, stranger danger. We trigger resistance always, right? But when we stay in their world, uncovering their problems, that's paradise. So put the focus on them. Learn how to turn the statements into questions. That's how we get them to also think. Because when we just tell them something, what typically happens? Comes in from one ear, comes out of the other. And also customize. The more we're able to customize this presentation to their challenges, the better we will be able to convert. So the presentation will resonate much more if we do use terminology they associate with their problems. So before we dive into the pitch and start unloading our stuff, we have a powerful pre-pitch problem statement. So things that we should cover there: summarize their situation, what we have uncovered up to that point, get confirmation that resonates, and we get permission to pitch. When we have permission to pitch, it allows us to essentially not just hard sell them, but they just gave us permission to sell them. I hope you're following when I'm unpacking that. If not, drop it in the comments. Happy to unpack it more for you. But let's look at the exact script. And we're going to say something like, well, Chris, based on what you told me, what we're doing can help you get to the outcome and help you fix the surface level pain that's making you feel a little bit emotional level pain. I believe you mentioned. So if you'd like, what we can do is go through some of the details on what we do exactly and how we can solve those problems for you so you can get to that outcome. Would that be helpful? So let's unpack it with an exact example. So I'm going to say, for example, if I sell coaching, sales coaching. Well, Chris, based on what you told me, what we're doing can help you get to 20,000 a month with your sales and help you fix that roller coaster revenue that you mentioned that's making you feel a little bit stressed. I believe you mentioned sometimes. Oh, yeah, for sure. Okay, so if you'd like, what I can do is I can take you through the details on how we exactly do that for clients so you too can get to 20,000 a month, just like our other clients. Would that be helpful? So I want you to notice here that I'm labeling their surface level pain, but also I'm gonna mention the emotional pain that I have uncovered during my conversation. The important piece is I don't want to just to label them and let it be. I'm gonna let them confirm that. Because If I just tell them that they're stressed, they might, in their mind, they might reject that idea. So I believe you mentioned that it's making you feel a little bit stressed sometimes. I believe you mentioned. Oh yeah, boom, you got it. The label is there. So we walk them through the permission question. Once we get confirmation, we move into the three pillars. And what we mean when we talk about the three pillars, and we can use the terminology of pillars, stages, levels, phases, futures, it doesn't matter the terminology really. What's important is to summarize what we offer, to look at our service, to look at our offer, at our product, and pull out three futures, three benefits, and this can be up to five. Don't make it more than five because it tends to get more confusing. But if we keep it three to five, we're golden. So, what should these pillars be? Those pillars should be. Your pillars are what makes you stand out from the competition. If I have generic three pillars or three features that all of my competition has, the presentation is not going to resonate. They're gonna come back with questions like, how are you different than X competitor? So even if I'm selling the exact same thing and I'm selling in a red ocean, what we call a very saturated marketplace, I have to create pillars that communicate differences between what I offer and the competition. Too often, I see 10 people pitching essentially the same offer and they all say the exact same things. So, if we cannot differentiate yourselves or at least have the prospect think that we're different, we will always struggle to make sales. So, what we should cover with those pillars? Why everything they have tried in the past has failed, why this specifically is going to be different, and how this is going to be different. So we're doing the first part here because we want to show them. First, we want to make it okay that they've failed in the past, but also we want to transition into giving them that this is the answer for you. This is why you failed in the past, the reason why, and now I'm introducing my new mechanism, my new product that's going to help you solve it. Why this is different, this differentiates us from everyone else, and how this is going to be different, this helps them see the plan. So I'm going to put a plan together for them so they can clearly see how I'm going to get them from their current situation to their present, to their future ideal situation. And we're going to load the pitch and transition from my pre-pitch problem statement here to the pillars with this statement. So how we've been able to help more than 800 clients get the outcome, get more sales, get higher conversions is the name of the program or the name of your software or the name of anything that you sell. And the first thing we work on is, and we move into the first pillar. The first pillar we want to create using the mechanism. Plus, we want to include the pain. And typically, it's good to walk them through the step-by-step process I follow to solve their challenges. So this is how I put together my pillar. I ask by saying, so you know how you mentioned you have challenges with this problem? Well, one of the biggest problems that people have when they come to us is X. They don't know how to do Y. So the way we solve that for our clients like you, we're putting it back on them. The way we solve it for clients like you is we use this unique mechanism. And what that means for you is you repeat back the advantages and benefits of what it will do for them. So let's go through an example pillar. So you know how you mentioned that right now you have challenges with getting consistent sales as a coach, as a consultant? Well, one of the biggest problems that people have is they don't have the right offer. They don't know how to put an irresistible offer together that gets their clients to saying yes, yes, yes. All they do is they read the Alex Hormozy $100 million offers book, but they don't necessarily know how that translates into an irresistible to the marketplace offer. So the way we solve that for you is we take you through our offer makeover process. So we sit down with you, I sit down with you, and we map out an offer that speaks exactly to your client's pain points. So you no longer have to read the book here, taking another offer course here, or look at why the ad costs keep skyrocketing, but you have an irresistible offer to take out to the marketplace. So what that means for you is whenever you run another ad campaign, whenever you send another email with this perfect offer, you'll get people raising their hand. And of course, this is something that you want to formulate according to your offer. I just want to give you an example. Now, once I take people through that first pillar, I want to tie down. So tie down, what we call is I want to check in with them. So does that make sense? What I just took you through. When I hear a yes, if that doesn't make sense, I have to go back and explain. That's how I'm preventing a lot of questions and objections. And step two, you don't have to do this always, but you can also check in with them and say, how do you see this helping you the most? Or having an irresistible offer is going to help me get this and this and this. With these questions, you get them selling themselves on what you have to offer, and you inject a huge amount of certainty into what you offer. Now let's move into the second pillar, and this is where we can start pre-handling objections and common challenges created by the first option. So this is optional. You don't have to always do it in terms of pre-handling objections, but just to give you an example, if I'm offering a coaching program, and my first pillar is, let's say, the mechanism that we're using along with some modules, like it's the program that they will go through to recalibrate their offer. So an objection that might come up in their mind might be, oh, this is another course. I'll never go through it on my own. So what I can come in and say to transition to my second pillar is, and this is not just another course where we throw at you a library of modules and you have to go through it by yourself. This is exactly, we don't want you feeling lost out there. So this is exactly why pillar number 2 is coaching. And what happens with the coaching is you have access to 16 weeks of one-on-ones, weekly one-on-ones with me. So how we do it, I'm going to pause. So as you saw, I tied the two pillars together with a pre-handling objection statement. And in the second pillar, I can unpack further. I can use the same exact formula here and uncover a second pain point. So you also know how you mentioned that you have problems with your marketing. So when you're posting, you're not getting enough people raising their hand. Well, the problem is, what we notice is coaches don't have the right message. So when they put their message out there, it doesn't resonate with their people. So the way we solve that for our clients is we have specific copywriting frameworks to take the problems from your clients and craft a message that speaks directly to them. So what that means for you is when you record your next video, you'll be speaking exactly to your ideal client. That's pillar number 2. And pillar number 3, you want to tie in typically a level of a way that prevents failure. And it's good to also include an internal struggle or fear. For example, in many coaching programs, people, they have the modules, they have the coaching, but they have the fear of staying accountable or actually showing up or actually implementing. So I want to address that, and I'm going to include a full pillar for this. So I'm going to say, now, as you might understand, Chris, a lot of cases people have the modules, they have the coaching, but what's holding them back is sometimes themselves. Like they just don't show up at the powerful level that they can, so they take the right level of action to get to X result. So how we solve it is we hold you actually accountable. Like we have a support system. Like you enter our community and you're able day to day to reach out to our specific Slack channel. Whenever you want support, we're a message away. So you're never feeling lost, but we're gonna poke you with a velvet stick to make sure that you're showing up. Are you okay with being held to that level of accountability? Now I have them. I've pre-handled objections. I've gotten confirmation all along the way with my tie-down questions. And I know that this is something that is going to benefit them. These are examples of different tie-down questions. Feel free to deploy all of them. In between the pillars, it's good to always get confirmation. And then once we map out the plan, let's say we cover all the different futures here. I'm wrapping up. After my third pillar there, I'm gonna say, does everything that I covered, the plan I put together for you, make sense? I want to hear a yes. If I don't hear a yes there, I want to backtrack and I want to go through it again. Make sure that they are certain that this is the answer for them. Once I get confirmation, I'm going to ask, what do you like most about what we covered, around what we covered here? Oh, I like this and this and this. Okay, so, or this is an alternative out of the plan that I put together for you. What resonates with you the most? And what are they going to do? They're going to sell themselves to what you just sold them, right? Can you see how powerful this can be? Once you have that certainty, you want to check in for commitment. How we do it is, so after we cover what do you like best about what we covered here out of the plan, what resonates with you most, commitment comes in by saying, okay, so do you feel this is something that you can do, so uh, you can do that will get you to outcome. And this is important because this is the final confirmation. This is where the game is played. So we will ask them, do you feel like this is something that you can do that will get you to outcome, that will get you to 20,000 a month? I want to hear a resounding yes. If I done my job properly, I want to hear a yes. Now, once I hear a yes, I want them to defend that position. And this gives me the ultimate leverage in my objection handling. I'm gonna ask why though. Well, it's because you introduce accountability, you have the coaching, and you're really able to help me with X and Y and Z. Perfect. We won, right? We just introduced a level of certainty. They sold themselves on what we have to say, right? On what we have to offer. I hope you're as excited as I am with this stuff. Now, price drop. Once we get that final confirmation, we want to drop price on them. So don't make it awkward. It's awkward enough. We're selling big ticket things to strangers on the internet. So leads, don't hard sell. You don't have to act excited. Be neutral. You've presented. They are sure that this is something that they will work for them. So this is the language that all you have to say. Okay, perfect. So it sounds like we found what you were looking for in a solution. What I didn't uncover is the investment. Would you like me to walk you through how that works? I'm asking for permission. So they're going to say yes. And I'm going to say, okay, so what's needed for you to get to 20,000 a month so you can have growth in the business and more time with the family? It's 10,000. Most of my clients make that back from their first sales, and they really like the fact that they can sell without hard selling people. I'm gonna pause for 5 seconds, let them digest what just happened and the price. If they don't say anything, because they may write it down, they may think about it if they have it in the bank account, or if an objection doesn't come in, I'm gonna say, how do you feel about what we covered? See, I'm not gonna ask, is that attainable for you, or are you ready to get started? I'm putting a filler. So how do you feel about what we started, about what we covered? Oh yeah, I feel good. Okay, perfect. Where would you like to go from here? I'm leaving it open. This is a ninja move. I'm not gonna push them either direction. I want to let them lead the way, which they're not really leading, right? It's just that a very effortless, a very neutral way of asking for the sale. But I've only given them two options really. It's a yes or a no. I don't want to be assumptive here. Are you ready to get started? Or, well, the next step is we get started. Which credit card would you like to put that on? Big no no. It can shoot resistance through the ceiling. No, all I'm doing, if I'm done a good job, all that's needed is where would you like to go from here? And if we've done a good job, it's a sale. They say yes. If we have an objection, we have other objection handling frameworks, and we will cover them in future videos. But that's pretty much it. Use this, deploy it in your presentations. And if you enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Whenever you're ready, follow me on Twitter, join some of my coaching Sunday sessions, or if you want to work with me, just shoot me an email and I'm here to help. Awesome. And if you really like this content, drop a like below, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one.